As he walked down, Sam Cole eyed the line of people. A few children, but no toddlers or babies, thank God. 3 dogs, but they already seemed to be getting on with each other. A few years ago, a full-on dogfight broke out on the 22-foot dory, and there aren't a lot of places you can go to get out of the way of that. A couple of buckets of seawater had done the job, and the threat to drown the bloody things if it happened again. Sam Cole took the old-fashioned view that on a boat the captain's word is law, and because he was a big man with a beard, a man who didn't say anything he didn't have to, few of his passengers doubted that it was so. Janie Cole cast off the Lady Anne at 14 minutes past 12 o'clock and took her usual seat in the bows. Sam took the tiller, standing whilst the people sat in forward-facing rows. Cameras were clicking away already, though there was little to see as yet, and there was that sense of adventure and expectation which always comes as a boat leaves its mooring and heads for the sea. Not just for them, the holiday-makers, but for Sam too, though he had been doing this, man and boy, for almost 50 years. Seen everything in that time, of course, but you still feel it because it's in our blood, island nation and all that. Sam Cole believed in blood. He took a breath and caught Janie's eye. She was watching him, smiling and waiting for him to begin. "Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Cole's Seal Adventures. My name is Sam, and that's Janie, the first mate. I'm going to tell you a bit about what we're going to see this afternoon, but you can ask either of us a question at any time. We're a bit local, but hopefully you will be able to understand what we say when we answer. Out on the sandbanks, we're going to see 2 kinds of seal." The girl was 12 or 13. It's difficult to say these days. She hadn't taken any interest in the seals, or the sandwich turns, or Sam Cole's brief lecture on the effects of longshore drift. Janie watched her now as the boat began its journey back to Barnum, and thought, she hasn't spoken once to her parents. Didn't want to come on a stupid boat trip to see some stupid seals. The parents, come to that, had hardly spoken to each other. A sad, silent couple in their early 40s, both bespectacled and bookish-looking, wondering what had happened to their lives. Janie had seen enough of that already. Not a mistake that she intended to make. When Sam pointed out the rusting hulk of the amphibious craft that soldiers had used to practice the D-Day landings, or so the story went, no one ever questioned it, all eyes but the girl's went in that direction. She was leaning over the side a little way so that she could trail her hand in the water, against the rules, of course, but it didn't look as if she would be getting any other enjoyment out of the day, so Janie left her in peace and watched the tourists take pictures of the DUKW and its customary cormorant. But when Janie looked back, everything had changed. The girl was sitting bolt upright, her hand out in front of her, fingers dripping seawater, and she was pointing. She looked at Janie then with a mute appeal, and Janie followed the pointing finger. There was something, just in the widening wash of the Lady Anne, something that bobbed briefly, seemed to roll a little in the turbulence, and then disappeared. Janie nodded and said, "A seal. One often follows the boat back in." The girl was shaking her head, her face pale and wide-eyed. "What did you think it was?" The girl wouldn't answer, and then Janie realized that she couldn't. Neither of the parents had yet noticed. Janie left her perch on the bow and crossed the 6 or 7 feet to where the girl was sitting. She hunched down beside her and said, "It's okay. What did you see?" Still the words wouldn't come easily. The girl opened her mouth and pointed again down the estuary, as if only seeing would make anyone believe what she had to say. Now the mother was leaning over, saying, "What's the matter? Is she feeling sick?" And the girl was holding on to Janie's arm as if she was. Finally she said, "It was a man, a dead body, a man." Sam Cole had cut the engine to an idle. He said quietly to Janie, "It's a high tide. We've enough water for another trip if we're back in by 2:30.